BlogTalk Radio.
Preservatives. I just need it straight. Welcome to Everybody is a Star. This is your favorite flavor, Patrice Chocolate Banks, and you are tuned into TribeFamilyChannel.com. We are live on Tribe. Now, I'm not going to waste much time tonight because my guest tonight has so much information that we need to get started as soon as possible. And he is an esteemed music journalist and dedicated his career to digging up gems from our music history, okay? And he is known as, I'm going to call him a musicologist, okay? So without further ado, welcome Justin, Musicology Kantor. Hey, Justin.
Hey, Chocolate. How are you doing?
I am doing good. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. I know you're busy, and you're.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be on the air with you and talking with such a talented person as yourself about what I do. It's a real honor.
Yay. Well, thank you so much. And, you know, we've been friends for a long time. I think the first time we got acquainted with one another was when I actually did an interview on your show, which was about how many years ago?
About 3 years ago now, yeah.
About 3 years ago?
Yeah, when you had your Deja Vu book out. Yeah, we did the interview about that. That was awesome. A highlight of my interviewing career.
Oh, so we have come full circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the beginning, okay? I like for people to know everything, as much about my guests as they are willing to tell, okay? So let's start from where you were born, where you came from.
Well, I'm from Virginia Beach, and I remember music being a part of my life from probably the time I was 2 years old. My mom often tells a story of my looking at the turntable, the record spinning on it, with eyes of amazement. You know, just what is this thing spinning around, emanating these wonderful sounds? And she's told me in the years since that when she was pregnant with me that one singer that she listened to all the time was Donna Summer, which would explain why she was my first favorite singer. I listened to her obsessively when I was growing up. So she's the first singer I remember having a really big impression on me when I was growing up.
Oh, but we're going to go back to what you said about your mother saying at 2 years old that music was fascinating you. Do you remember that, or you just
No, I remember. I have a lot. I think a lot of my memories in life are based on songs, like where I was when I heard a certain song, even if it was an inconsequential moment, you know, just being in the car on the way home from preschool even. I remember hearing Love Come Down by Evelyn Champagne King and really feeling the groove of that at such a young age, or a song like American Music by the Pointer Sisters, which was also out when I was like the preschool age. I remember singing that song in the garage of, you know, the home that we grew up in. And so it was just always in me. And, you know, I think that throughout most of my years in school, elementary up through high school, not that I didn't like the academics, because I certainly had great teachers and really enjoyed parts of school, but a lot of times I couldn't wait to get home and watch BET, which at that time they had fabulous programs like Video Soul and Video Vibrations, which I would watch religiously and just discover so much great music. I mean, so many wonderful artists like Stacey Lattisaw, Stephanie Mills. You know, again, at a very young age, I was really into that. When probably a lot of my peers might have been watching MTV more, but I always had a special affinity for soul music and R&B. And even, you know, at that time, acts that weren't as well known, like one of the first groups I remember really liking was a group called Shades of Lace, which, you know, is a really talented female R&B.
What was the group called?
Shades of Lace. They are a female R&B group, and they had this song called My Love Is Deep that was produced by a guy named Lionel Job, you know, who's produced a lot of great records like for Starpoint over the years. So I always would just soak that up, and I'm very fortunate, you know, that my parents realized what an affinity I had for music, because my dad on the weekends, you know, when he wasn't working, he would take me to record stores, and he would hang around while I kind of browsed through the racks and tried to find the records of these videos that I was seeing, and, you know, even stuff like doing voice lessons and piano lessons at a young age. That was something I got to do, you know, and a lot of times you hear about parents not really believing that the arts are something worth kind of dedicating yourself to for a career, but they always really let me indulge in my passion for it and pursue it from the beginning.
We are who we are, and you know you got to call a thing a thing. So if that music was calling to you, it was something inside of you that was connected to it, and that was what was supposed to happen. I find it very interesting, though, that your family was so supportive of it. Now, do you have siblings?
Yes, I have a younger sister, Melanie. Hey, Melanie. And she also, actually it's funny because right now she's studying guitar. And she never really had looked at pursuing music as a career, but she always had the appreciation for it, too. And I think even though I don't come from a family with a background in show business or pursuing it professionally, you know, my mom just always had a love for music growing up. You know, she would tell me stories about going to see James Brown in concert when she was a teenager, and Otis Redding, and just a lot of these great artists. And this is even, you know, she grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina, you know, and these were in the days of segregation still. And so, you know, she has some stories from that. So I think that in that way, her history influenced me, and it was just in my blood, you know, just kind of appreciating.
So we discussed how, I guess we'll call it soul music for right now. When you were small, we'll call it soul music, how it actually did reach your soul. So do you remember, like, how you felt when you would hear this music as opposed to other music, you know, like maybe the Beatles or whatever? What was it about, you know, soul music, black music, R&B music, whatever you want to call it, that you think that connected with what was inside of you? Was it the way it made you feel?
Yeah, I think that when I think about a lot of the artists I listened to a lot growing up, like the Pointer Sisters, or even going to my first concert, which was Whitney Houston on my 9th birthday, I think about the positive energy of the arrangements in the songs. Again, I use the phrase emotionally truthfulness in the vocals, and also the melodies have a brightness to them that really just resonates with my soul. Even if it's a sad song, you know, I just think that there's a real feeling that the people that are singing these songs have lived it, what they're singing about, and that they're really storytellers, and they're not just singing random lines, even if they didn't write the song themselves. You know, I just think that combination of the melody and the rhythm and the voices, you know, it's all part of the puzzle. I don't think that you can really separate one aspect and say it's more important than the other. I mean, so many great arrangers in the history of soul music. You know, whether it be someone like Norman Whitfield